Saturday nights.
What's up? Happy Saturday night. Dean and Jen Gross with Gain here. Hope you're doing well. 9:54.
Oof, it's almost 10 o'clock.
I think the Western Conference game is underway. Haven't seen any of it yet, so we'll see if Houston can do something tonight or not. Looking doubtful, but we shall see. So a lot of noise about carbs lately.
Not lately.
Forever.
It's definitely a controversial topic in nutrition and diet.
And we're here to say that carbs are good.
Yes, we love carbs.
They're really good, and
but good quality, high quality carbs.
Yes, I mean, there's obviously a lot of bad carbs out there, a lot of simple sugars that you want to avoid.
Hey Josh, hey Eric, hey Karen, Ryan. What is up, Karen? Carbs.
It's all about the right stuff, man.
I know that there are some people, we hear stories and from friends, family, clients, and it's like, oh, if I even think of carbs, I'm gaining weight.
Yeah.
And then, then other people that their body really thrives on carbs, but everyone's body is unique, but there are some really nutritious qualities to complex carbohydrates. And it's definitely a necessity for people to incorporate, but the right kinds.
Yes.
Right.
That's the key. There's just so many manufactured simple sugar, simple carbs, so people kind of lump them into that. But when you think of whole grains and you think of, truly the nutritious carbs are a great energy source and still should be part of, your diet. I mean, folks, I know keto is very big for a lot of people today, and just like Atkins was very big for people, which basically are the same diet, just different
tweaks,
different label,
different marketing.
But at the end of the day, there are some internal health issues that people tend to forget about when they're really high protein, high fat, and very low carb. And one of them is your arteries. Your blood flow, specifically your coronary arteries. There's definitely been a lot of studies done on that. People on low carb diets, first and foremost, people with low carb diets have a higher mortality rate. They die sooner, unfortunately. So you don't want to be on low carb your whole life. And but they looked at your coronary arteries. I mean, those are arteries going to your heart, so the blood flow to your heart. And there's a big decrease in coronary artery function when you're on a very, very low carb diet. So when you're on a high carb, healthier diet,
not necessarily high carb, but it's proportionate diet.
But it would still be considered, I mean, from what we're talking about, considered high, again, you could be anywhere that 50-70% range.
But really the goal is that your fruits and vegetables are 50 to 70% of your plate.
Yep. So the point is, sometimes people can lose weight in a hurry, burn fat in a hurry, but maybe their blood flow and their arteries aren't as functional as they could be. And so it's just one of those things. This is one of the many reasons that, carbs aren't bad. They're not the enemy. They actually are very good for you.
Whole grains.
Yes.
Let's say whole grains, because people think, there's a difference between carbs and whole grains.
Yep.
So whole grains, we're talking about quinoa, amaranth, buckwheat, brown rice, sweet potatoes, corn,
blue sweet potatoes, purple sweet potatoes.
So there are some great whole grain choices out there. Now, hey Edward, what's up? Now a lot of people, when they think of carbs, they think of processed white bread, or they might think of highly refined processed white rice, or crackers, or chips. And that's not what we're talking about here, because that's definitely not a healthy choice. There are much better choices than that. So what we're talking about are whole grains, which are carbs, but people tend to lump good carbs and bad carbs in the same category. And what we're talking about specifically are good, high quality whole grains.
Yeah, because the stuff you're just talking about isn't going to help your arteries either.
No. So whole grains.
Yeah.
And there's outside of increasing blood flow and the differences between low carb and higher carb diet, or low whole grain and higher whole grain diets. There's tons of nutritional value to whole grains, and fiber is one of them, but also satiation. Your body tends to be more satiated when you do eat whole grains versus pulverized grains. So like that processed white bread, that whole grain is going to get into your bloodstream, not that whole grain, but that carbohydrate is going to get into your bloodstream that much faster and raise your glycemic levels. So the blood sugar levels. Whereas that true whole grain like the quinoa or the buckwheat or the amaranth or the sweet potatoes, the brown rice, it's not going to reach that high glycemic level as some of those other processed carbohydrates. So they function differently in your body.
We figure we have your attention.
Yes. Yeah. It piques a lot of people's interest, right? Because we get asked all the time, like, well, do you eat carbs? Yeah, we eat carbs.
You must eat a lot of carbs.
We eat whole grains. Yeah. We try to keep it
whole grain pasta even.
Yes. Yeah. Whole grain pasta. Yeah. We try to keep it as whole grain as possible because it is beneficial. Yeah. We need them. We need those nutrients in our body. We need them in our diet.
I guess it's very similar to carbs. Has just had this kind of bad labeled, like she said, of thinking of those simple processed flour, white stuff. Just like protein's been the same thing. You know, protein's been labeled as meat, right? And so it's just one of those kind of myths, those misnomers that come up when now you hear carbs. As even the Queen of Dallas mentioned, like she says "are" because she's thinking of carbs in this box that includes all the junk. Yeah, and just like when people say, sometimes they say protein, they're just referring to animal meat. And there's obviously a lot of different formats, and there's vegetables that are very high in protein. So it's something it's been come up a lot. And again, you see so many fad diets and things, and it still comes down to the basic principle of, you know, the simple math that we've talked about before, whether you're in calorie deficit or you're in a calorie increase, and are you getting nutrient dense or you know, nutrient lacking foods. And it's not usually about getting rid of everything, but maybe making sure you have certain things. And we talked about the daily dozen. And so carbs is one of those things that, obviously we definitely partake, but we, you know, want to err on the side of the nutritious stuff. And hey, we're not perfect either. We get a lot of the crap. You know, we end up getting some of the simple stuff, but that's not what we're talking about when we're saying, hey, carbs are good. We're definitely talking about, you know, the whole grains and things. And like I said, that's great for arterial function. It's great for energy. It's great for the fiber intake. You'll live longer. You'll be healthier. So it's not the enemy. You definitely can consume it. Just consume it. Choose it wisely.
But we also believe that everyone's body is unique as well. Yeah. So, you know, depending on your health issues, I mean, we've got friends that are diabetics, and for them, the restricting even the whole grains is important. So, you know, you've got to look at yourself as an individual for sure and understand what your body needs. I mean, we experiment quite a bit with, you know, different diet options if we're trying to target a certain area in our body, or we're trying to change some things. Is wine a good carb? You're funny, Karen. It's actually, you know, there have been studies.
I'd say noodles and eggs and white rice.
There's been studies that a glass of red wine a day is really good from a longevity standpoint. And I forget the phytonutrients that are in the red wine off the top of my head, but
resveratrol.
Yes. Yeah. So for longevity, a glass of red wine a day is about it. But don't overindulge. It's not the healthiest. So what was I saying? I forget.
I don't know. I was looking at Ed talking about noodles and eggs. If you can avoid eggs, do it.
We incorporate noodles in our diet, but we try to stick with the whole grain noodles. I mean, there's so many great options now when it comes to pasta options. I mean, you can get high protein chickpea noodles, lentil noodles, black bean noodles, whole wheat, buckwheat. There are just a lot of options now that are out there. So there are some, it's all about choice. So are you choosing that white pasta? Are you choosing the buckwheat pasta or the whole wheat pasta? You know, it's about choice. So if you can try to make the healthiest choice.
And for those scared of the whole wheat, like, cause you're used to, don't be, it tastes delicious. So, I mean, it's, give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Like you said, the black bean one, great. Lentil pasta is awesome. And again, it's high protein, so you're looking for that protein kick.
I mean, you could get about 20 extra grams per serving with those pastas. So it's great.
No, it's a staple. So yeah, we thought we'd throw that out there. Again, you may already love carbs and are eating the healthiest of carbs, but a lot of people ask about it, and we see it a lot. And
another reason that it's really huge too is the whole gluten sensitivity being out there. A lot of people do have a sensitivity to wheat, and again, just going back to bioindividuality, which everyone's body being unique. And in and of itself, how we process the foods could be different. But that's another reason why carbohydrates is a big discussion point with the gluten-free products that are out there. But again, they've made tons of highly processed gluten-free products now that are just junk food, and people think, oh, I'm eating gluten-free. This is good for me. It's healthy. Well, it's gluten-free cookies and all of this stuff that isn't necessarily the healthiest choice. Now, in moderation, of course, but there are so many options out there.
Yes,
we're just trying to educate you that there are some really good carbohydrate sources, whole grain carbohydrate sources. One of our favorites is quinoa, and it is a complete protein. Even though it is a whole grain, it has all the essential amino acids. So we love quinoa.
Yeah, dig it.
Super easy to cook. Cooks in about 10 minutes, and bam. So it's even much quicker than rice. It's a great addition to soups, to casseroles. If you're making a brown rice, throw in some quinoa, add some extra protein to it, extra whole grains. My whole house is Scott. Your house is
gluten-free.
Gluten-free. So this is very helpful. There are tons of whole grain option out there, Kimball, that are gluten-free. So I could, message you with some of those. I'm sure you already know since your whole house is gluten-free. But there are definitely some whole grain options out there that are great choices.
So you guys always just called him by his last name all the
college years.
All those years. I just think it's funny. I'm trying to call you Scott. She's like, yeah, Kimball.
Bourbon is made from whole grains and gluten-free.
There you have it. Can never be wrong with bourbon. That's a whole new live is bourbon.
But we just thought we'd share some light on.
I think Ed, you're messing with us now, right? Canned pork and beans.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So yeah, we just wanted to shed some light on good carbs and incorporating some good whole grains in your diet. It's definitely a great addition.
Yeah.
For sure. But message us. Feel free to like, comment, and share. That's a big help for us if you think this message is good for you or anyone in your sphere, friends or family. You're helping us spread the message of healthful living.
Yeah.
If you're not on our newsletter, definitely pop on. We share tips like this and other nutritional tips and performance tips. That's gainhottips.com.
Yes.
You can check out our website.
Yes, growthandimprovement.com. Check us out because, speaking of, and you may want to message us with this because we mentioned it earlier about, obviously coronary artery function and just blood flow as a whole. We're doing some things that really enhance blood flow. Some of the newer things we're doing, so check that out on the website and, ask us about it directly. And we'd love to share about how you can improve your blood flow in other ways along with your diet and exercise.
Sure.
So.
For sure.
With that,
private message us. If you need more information on this, hit us up, private message, comment on this feed. We'll get back to you for sure. We always respond. So you guys have an awesome night. If you're watching the game, go have some fun watching the game.
Get to it. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll check you guys out tomorrow. Have a good evening.
All right. See ya.